Hello and welcome to the full moon in Virgo, March 2020 forecast. So I'm going to go ahead and get right going because I know a lot of us are really feeling the pressure and the shifting that's occurring, but it's creating a lot of anxiety and doubt within the wild-hearted collective. You know, there's a lot of people who had such powerful shifts at the new moon in Pisces at the end of February, and it really left us questioning so much of our journey. And so we're just going to go ahead, go ahead and get right going. So those first two cards are for the Divine Feminine. I was going to only pull one, but two cards, I guess, were stuck together. So let me grab the one for the Masculine. Okay. So what we have for the feminine right now is the Holy Spirit. So with these shifts, do expect some miracles to be coming. Keep your thoughts positive. That tends to be a big suggestion from the council or from the wild hearts to those of us who are here embodied. Because we tend to slip into fear, we tend to not manifest in faith, we tend to slip into that fear thinking, that negative pattern. And so for the feminine specifically, we are working with the Holy Spirit energy, which is all about expecting miracles. And remember that only love is real. So regardless of what's going on in 3D is what I'm being guided to share. The divine love is freely flowing between the masculine and feminine in 5D. And so these miracles are going to occur naturally. Try not to say like, oh, I hope it's this or I hope it's that. Just merely shift any of your thoughts, anything that you're looking to manifest, into an abundant mindset, into something that's full of positivity and light, rather than, what if this doesn't happen? So right now, just stay open. One of the things that came through over the weekend was this idea of being in the void, and that the void is a beautiful place when we surrender into the arms of the cosmic mother, because at that point, everything is limitless. We have limitless opportunities, limitless potential, okay? And then the other card that came up is really interesting because it is Radha, Soul Flame, calling home a piece of yourself. And like I said, that's for the Divine Feminine. So whatever it is we feel we lost outside of ourselves, it's going to offer us the opportunity to find it within, experience relationship harmony and healing. So we will start to experience some of those relationships that we feel have perhaps fallen away, fallen apart, whether they be friendships, romantic connections, with our divine counterparts or what have you. We are going to step into a space of harmony with them. And even more importantly, a lot of healing is going to be taking place. So if you saw the camera just go back and forth, that's my darling little Sebastian letting himself be known. So the masculine is working with Archangel Michael quite intensely right now, which is all about trusting in heaven. A lot of them are going through a profound amount of awakening, early stages awakening, dark night of the soul, tower moments. And Archangel Michael is just saying, you are absolutely safe in the arms of the angels, and that they're watching out for you, that there's nothing that you are being presented with that you can't be handled, or that you can handle rather. And just a reminder, the divine masculine outside of ourselves is reflecting to the feminine what she is experiencing within. And so for many of us, like I said earlier, a lot of us are starting to question aspects of the journey, and the angels are just saying to that masculine energy within us that's trying to figure things out, that's really trying to take action on our guidance, just sit and have some faith. And so I did also get the Shekinah, which is sacred self, and this is all about unleashing your spirit. So interesting that for the feminine energy is calling back a piece of herself, and the masculine is really unleashing this part of themselves, learning what their divine gifts are, and understanding that not everything is a linear process. At times we go in cycles, okay? And then union energies are Master Jesus and Hope. So a lot of what will serve the collective with this Virgo full moon is going to be forgiveness, really understanding that you are on the path of light, and in order to really achieve and I hate to even label it achievement because it's so much deeper than that. In order to ascend, in order to align and become a vibrational match for that, for what we desire, we need to come from a space of love and forgiveness. And so sending that out into the world is going to help us receive these miracles that we truly desire. And of course, working with hope here, love is yours. So there is a lot of powerful love vibration going on. We are ascending, we are stepping deeper into that space of unconditional love. For many, we were recently shown that our love of self is lacking. And so we are going to have to be mindful of that over the next several months, that we are engaging in loving practices. And the question that I shared earlier this week in my Facebook group, Wild Hearted Feminine, is how am I going to love myself through this, through the trials and tribulations, just as much as when we're celebrating, when things go really well, when we love ourselves a little bit differently. We treat ourselves, many within the Wild-Hearted Feminine achieve a goal and then they say just, what's next? And so we've worked on, kind of treating ourselves and acknowledging those successes. And right now, especially with this Virgo full moon, Virgo is that theme of worthiness and health and wellness and perfectionism and attention to detail. And so we are really being, guided to love ourselves a little bit more than, well, I shouldn't say a little bit more, because we're asked to just love ourselves. We are being told that our self-love is not where it needs to be. And so interesting, because a lot of these cards that I pulled from Yasmin Boland's Moonology deck have almost been haunting us within the collective. I'm going to do a little shift here. Sorry about that. All right. So the first one is that the answers that we need are coming. This is the full moon in Gemini energy. The sun, lots of twin energy going on within this reading. So we do have the Gemini, the signs of the twins, but more so than thinking of your twin outside of yourself, thinking about the polarity within yourself. So really understanding, what your inner masculine is requesting of you. If you are a female, embodied female, in more of your masculine, then you would shift over into what your feminine energy is asking of you. And really just working to alignment. But there is, I feel like everybody within the wild-hearted feminine right now is really, they have like one question that's really on their mind, something that's really weighing on their heart, something that is showing them time and time again. It's just so hard to surrender it to source. It's almost like the universe is right now, and this is what I feel came up for so many of us at this Pisces new moon, is that we were shown the parts of the journey that we are really, gripping, where we have kind of strapped ourselves to it and just do not want to let it be pried from our hands, because we're in fear of losing it forever. And of course, if you have that mindset, then it was never yours to, it can only be yours if you release it and allow it to come back to you. But this is a time to take action, and that action I'm hearing is towards your goals and towards your dreams. Don't let the energy get stagnant while you're waiting for these answers. Just even starting, because the moon, we're already on the way to the new moon. I'm posting this the night before. I'm posting this on Sunday. And then we have the couple of days after, where we still have that full moon energy, and just allow yourself to bask in that full moon, like that full moon power, and take an aligned action towards something that you're dreaming up. If you have this desire to take a vacation to a certain spot, then maybe the aligned action you're taking towards your dream of taking that vacation is, just to sit down and create a budget for it. Or maybe you're starting to think about a new service that you're going to offer if you own your own business. And so sitting down and mapping that out, but you are being told it's time to take action. It's time to, with this new moon in Aries energy, what I'm picking up, it's which is next month, mind you. New moon in Aries is very fiery, driven, and passionate. Now, the one thing I will say that I'm hearing as a reminder for that Aries energy, we tend to kind of throw in the towel just short of receiving that gift or that reward or the payoff, so to speak. So just be mindful of that energy as you take as you take that step forward. But it's also that your dreams need a practical plan. I am hearing that many are winging it, so to speak. And there is a fine line between winging it and surrendering it. So trying to figure out how you can navigate that balance. So how can you have that appropriate level of control, which is such a unique balance to find. But ultimately, you know, kind of powerful energy here is taking time to breathe out. It's been a very wild couple of weeks. Again, since the new moon, since Mercury retrograde began, things just haven't quite been what they were before that. Rapid shifting. And it's, you know, we're just being told, breathe out, release that, ground your energy, and it will afford you the opportunity to see things with more clarity. Okay? So we do have a lot of this was experienced at the hands of rejection. We were rejected by counterparts. We were jobs were taken, or, we didn't receive the jobs that we had perhaps been applying for, but some form of rejection has likely taken place in your life over the past 2 weeks. Maybe you made, you kind of extended an olive branch to somebody and that was rejected. They didn't want to have the conversation or whatnot. But that is what we're healing right now, is this feeling of rejection. And one of the things that's coming through in my channel is, what parts of yourself are you rejecting? And then call it home, work with that Radha energy, soul flame, okay? So before we can ever achieve anything outside of ourselves, we have to achieve it within. And that soul flame is so strongly connected to this rejection energy. Okay, and so which parts of you are you finding really hard to love? Are you ashamed of? Because those are the parts when someone walks away from us, or when we aren't given what we desire, we feel like those are the parts of us that aren't good enough or are undeserving, and that's why the circumstance was the way it was. But we, beautiful energy here. Manipura, third chakra. So we have the joy card and we have enlightenment. I really am working on getting the ability to reverse the videos so they're not backwards for you guys. But anyway, Manipura energy, third chakra, gut reaction. This is our powerhouse. This is the space just below that bottom rib. And what we're seeing is joy and enlightenment. So despite this rejection, it is going to take us further on our spiritual path. We're going to step deeper into our personal joy. We're going to understand what that actually means. And so when I see this and all the sunflowers, this does remind me of the sun card in traditional tarot, which is all about positive outcomes, really like basking in abundance, basking in the light, obviously. And we're going to just be coming into this space of discovery. For many of us, we're going to experience this kind of high heart activation, which will only be able to really work with that high powered intensity by grounding. This is root chakra, Moonology. It's the base. It's the space right at the base of the spine, and it governs our stability and our security. And so and the reason I'm saying high heart activation, we have this heart space being just lit up, and then this connection to source. Even the owl's face is making that heart, and there is that full moon in this card. So I do feel that despite the, what I'm feeling is like grief and heartache sitting right on the heart, right in the Anahata, the heart chakra. What I'm picking up is that things are going to be made clear over the next couple of days. For many of you, I can almost hear you when I say that, say, well, thank God, because we've been waiting for a really long time. But ultimately, this is going to bring us deeper into our spiritual gifts. We're going to stop denying our intuition. We're going to stop mistrusting our intuition. Don't make any rash decisions. Don't make any, kind of impulsive choices. I am hearing to watch your communication, especially just because Mercury is about to go direct. We do still have retro shade, which will still have some ramifications. So If you feel this urge to do something, check in with your ego, or I'm sorry, check in with your soul. Your soul is going to be the one that's saying, you know, you absolutely should not be doing that. That's just bad news. Your soul is the one who's going to tell you after you, you know, for example, hit the send button on the text message. Your soul's going to, you know, once your ego gets satisfied, your soul's going to be able to step in and say, that was a really poor choice. Okay. And then, you know, the keepers of the earth, I do feel like this is an echo to get ourselves really grounded. Virgo is one of the earth signs, but know that you're not alone. Your ancestors are working with you at all times, and call on them. I am hearing that a lot of these karmic cycles that are ending, are very much a, you know, ancestral healing or ancestral wounding that we are working through. So call on your ancestors, ask for support, ask for guidance. Okay, we do have the initiation, and I do sometimes cringe when I see this card because I remember the first time I ever pulled it. But you're going somewhere sacred is ultimately what's happening. You're going deeper to yourself. You're coming home to yourself. Like I said, everything's going to be made clear over the next couple of days. And maybe, okay, so they're saying, well, not everything, but a lot of things that we've been struggling with, we will become clear on. Remember that this is just another rite of passage as you venture into deeper into your journey, as you work the ascension path. You know, right now what I'm feeling is we're on this darker side of the initiation. We're kind of on the descent into the underworld, and what's going to happen once we get through that full moon gateway, we're going to see, you know, I always feel like this card on the opposite side, this just feels like Lemuria to me, heaven on earth, and trusting that it's happening. But we don't necessarily embrace the beauty of what's coming unless we go through some of the darkness. And even then, I will tell you, how many times have you received a blessing or something to be really grateful for, and you don't really hit pause. Instead, what you do is you leap right into the next thing. So just be mindful of that. And then we do have the fact that we're embodying the warrior woman archetype right now. So if you weren't afraid, what would you do? What goal or aspiration would you go after? How would you stop waiting for, you know, those dreams to manifest? Okay. So we are having a lot of really powerful shifting. And I've said this before, the shifting is within. We're having to step out of the external markers of transformation and really just understand that at times it's going to be, maybe we don't react the same way anymore. Maybe we don't feel the same way. Lots of, you know, I'm feeling heart chakra, I'm feeling throat, I'm feeling third eye. So lots of shifting, lots of rising of the energy. And so, you know, we do have that everything leads home. So there is no way to go wrong on your journey. This is a time of trusting that you cannot lose what's meant for you. Trusting your intuition, going within for the answers. And this is something I've been talking a lot with my guides about, is going within for the answers, because I feel like for so many of us, myself included, we need, or what we want is answers. We want to understand why certain things happen. We want to understand why people react or behave a certain way, and those answers seem to never come. And this is a call to go within, except that some things you may not be able to get closure on, or, you know, a definitive yes or no on. But that there is peace to be found when you turn inwards, and maybe just learn and get the answer to why you behaved or we behaved in a certain way, or, you know, how certain things, you know, what was the catalyst event for certain things. But it is, you know, another call within. And like I said, I've been working with my guides on that one. They've been relatively quiet as I'm asking for that, which always means, you know, even no response is a response when it comes to my angels and my guides and the ascended masters. And so I just feel like they are saying, you know, we're not sharing the answers because you know the answers. And then just remember that you're also here to pave the path, to, you know, kind of walk through the forest that has been untouched and lead the way, be the leader you wish you had. So a lot of you light workers are having to create frameworks, because the ideal, you know, you don't want to just go into the energy work that everybody's going into. You have new ideas, you have new passions, and Source is saying this is absolutely the most amazing time for you to go with that, to roll with it, and to find your way. You know, and then we have Breath of the Cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. And you know, this is just that S word in a nutshell that none of us love to hear. It's that surrendering, knowing that there is a higher plan and that it will all be made clear in due time. I do have a new deck that I'm working with. I don't even remember the name of it. Shame on me. I think this is the Moon Oracle. I will post the links to my decks should you be interested in them in the comments of the video. So let me see if I can get just one more card from here. So we have fear and we have boundaries. These cards are just absolutely stunning. And what I feel like we're being told, this is a direct relation to this surrendering card. So let go of your fears. Know that there's nothing to be afraid of. The universe is forever holding you and guiding you. And once you let go of those fears, you know, we see her starting out in that cage. And once she busts free, like, it's just total expansion and beauty and bounty, right? She's limitless. And then we have boundaries. What I'm feeling, you know, boundaries is such a theme for the feminine collective. What I feel is coming up is having some boundaries in place for those redundant thoughts or those things that aren't serving you. You know, as soon as you find yourself looking at or thinking about those things that you really shouldn't be giving space to or holding space for anymore, call them back to yourself, okay? And so we do have the High Priestess, that the veil will be very thin. I'm seeing that, though my guides have been very quiet, they have been very present, and I'm picking up on a lot of energies that aren't always floating with me. But this is also a gateway here. We have that polarity energy. We have the, you know, the masculine and the feminine, the yin, the yang, all taking place in this culminating energy. Wow. And then we have the star. So wishes fulfilled, knowing that, and this is the Aquarius card. So really finding that balance between things is what I'm picking up in this card right now. You know, I've never really picked up on this, but she's pouring one of these, you know, beautiful streams of water as far away from the pool as she can get in this card, and it's forging a new path. So don't be surprised if your wish fulfillment comes in a way that you weren't anticipating. Never a bad thing. And then we have the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. And so this has a lot of Leo energy. A lot of these journeys are going to be culminating over the summer when we're in Leo. But King of Pentacles has Aries energy going. And, you know, King and Queen, I feel like this is what we're dealing with right now. The masculine does seem to be quite concerned or conscious of finances right now, whereas the feminine is really focusing on manifesting. And you know, the manifesting is hard because it is in divine time. The masculine could definitely focus a little bit more on the surrendering, focus on releasing some of the feelings rather than blocking them. And then this Queen of Wands energy, like I said, for the feminine, what I'm picking up, wow. I just pulled the next card. So the Queen of Wands energy, with that manifestation, really being able to shift your thoughts to something that's positive and then sending it out, allowing the universe to receive it and create something beautiful with it. Okay, and then we do have another king. This is the king of Avalon, which is man, authority, sexual energy, and things pertaining to law and justice. I do feel like karma is being served within the collective right now, not just to the masculine, although we do tend to say, oh, the masculine is getting having their karma served. I do feel like the feminine will as well. It'll be in different ways, okay? And so for some of the feminine, it will be that they have not done their inner work, unfortunately, or they still have quite a bit of inner work to do, and so they don't receive the exact manifestation that they've been working on. And it's merely an indicator to shift over, shift your mindset, shift your vibration so that it elevates, so that it rises. And then, like I said before, and this is kind of one of the themes within this reading, truth is going to come out. Truth is going to be served, or, given. Oh, so whatever it is that you're wanting answers to, they are likely coming, for the good and the bad of that. Some of those answers are going to be great. Some of them are going to really hit hard. But ultimately, the truth is to serve the journey. Okay? And so the final two cards, you are good enough. This is the Virgo full moon energy. And then nothing will come of this situation. So whatever you're worrying about, whatever you're upset about, put it aside. You don't need to worry about it, because nothing's going to come of the worrying. You're going to do more harm by being in that worried space, that worried energy. Okay, so you are being told to just let it go. I am being guided to pick the third card here on this deck, so hold on. So ultimately, show yourself, show others some compassion. That's the goddess Kuan Yin. Choose to be love, and make sure that you're sending it outside of yourself. Of course, be loving to others, but also be loving to yourself over the next couple of days. Especially whereas we see this you are good enough card, I know that there could be some questions of worthiness, and you are worthy of your ambitions and of your manifestations. It's merely just right now, if you're not seeing them manifest, it's merely the universe showing you the way where you need to do a little bit more of the inner work, or how you can elevate your vibration in order to be that match for it. Okay? Thank you so much for checking out the full moon in Virgo video. I am always so humbled to be able to do readings for you. If you have any questions or comments, please definitely drop them below. Subscribe to the station, like the video, share it with your family and friends if it resonates, if it feels good to you, and happy full moon.